Good afternoon, YouTube. What's going on, guys? So back out in the garage again. If you guys watched the last video, you can tell I had a shit ton of fun. Back to working on the MR2 right now, cleaning out the old AEM filter here. Trying to get some work done on that because I'm about to order my wheels, suspension, do all the fun stuff for you guys. About to get a bunch of cool stuff for that. And then we're gonna switch back over here to the Supra again, go for a little drive here today. First and foremost though, we have to get this filter back on. If you guys can even see here, went ahead and removed it. It's actually really easy to get to. One thing I noticed though, as soon as I removed the filter, I forgot that like literally the gas pipe and the lines and stuff run right through the engine bay, which is just kind of, if you really think about it, it's kind of mind blowing that you're running all that giant pipe and everything right through there. Obviously fuel goes to the motor, so blah, blah, blah. But it's just weird that you can actually see the physical line that goes to it. Another weird thing, guys, if you don't own an MR2, to change the fuel pump in these cars, you have to drop the tank every time. Yeah, I'm not making that up. You have to drop the tank in these cars if you ever have to service the pump in any shape, way, or form. That's one of the really bad things with this car. So one thing I've noticed, a lot of guys that are doing the big K20 swaps, or if they're going for big power, they all have fuel cells up front, which makes sense because serviceability on these cars when it comes to fuel tank, and that happens a good bit, is kind of a PETA. You don't want to be at the track and go on something that's usually pretty easy to get to, especially on my Supra. It's really right in the trunk. There's 6 bolts there and you can get it right out. How I did it down at Cruise Week with the help of some friends and some random tools. So it tells you how easy it is. This, you have to drop the entire fuel tank. Could you imagine doing that on the side of the road or doing that at Cruise Week like I did? There's just no way. So a lot of guys have to run fuel cells on these cars, which kind of sucks. One thing I did notice though, and it's pretty cool, Ty uses AEM dry flow filter, so that's the first one I've ever used, so there's no oil in it, which is, I guess is a little different. I like it. Makes it a little bit easier for me because I'm lazy as it is. I say I'm lazy, but I just try to make everything as simple as possible. That's why I always say lazy. Like, I hate things where they're redundant or I have to do it over and over again. Something I can do it once and be done and do it right. I try to do it that way, even though it seems like I kind of don't do that, especially when it comes to Supra, because every year the motor comes out. But this year, knock on wood, that shit's staying in there. I don't fucking want to mess with it this year. We'll mess with this car and mess with this a little bit, but nothing big unless someone wants to send me some big money. Besides the transmission swapping this, that's going to happen for the T56. There's nothing big. I guess that's kind of big, but nothing crazy. I just need a T56 so I can get rid of the R154, turn up the power just a little bit more. Although it kind of sucks because I really like the R154. It's a Toyota transmission. Everything bolts up real nicely. It's never given me a single issue yet. So I can't really bitch about that. Even the clutch, I know I complain about it a lot, but at the same time, it's held all the power. It has not let me down, not once. But that's what you're gonna get when you're running an R154. You're gonna have to run a 6-puck. It's gonna be finicky, unless you wanna go to a crazy quad disc, and that's gonna be with any transmission. So, I mean, you can do that, but you're gonna spend $2,000. So it's kind of one of those things that's up to you. $2,000 is probably the low end of it too. If you're looking at it, OS Geiken, you're probably looking at $3,200, $3,300. So that's one of those decisions y'all have to make too if you're going to go down that transmission route. One of the things I want to do with this car, and Ty at TCS kind of inspired me as all of his builds seem really clean. I'm going to try and do what I did with Supra. Keep everything as clean as possible, but retain everything. So I'm keeping cruise control. I'm going to I'm going to keep everything I possibly can to keep this car as streetable as possible. I love the Supra, the fact like I'm going down and it's a hot day, I kick on the AC and it does it flawlessly. I want to be able to do the same with this. But some of the small stuff I can fix, I'm looking here, just trying to see where these random vacuum hoses goes here. Like this is for the map sensor here. Well, this map sensor's got these wiring. I know I can move this from here, tuck it away somewhere and it's up and out of the way. Run this wire instead of being over top of the throttle body, run it down. I could probably take the throttle body off here, which I just noticed, I think, when TCS did this, which I guess, my opinion, it doesn't matter. They just capped it like this. Not a big deal. They just recirculate the air. But these can both be capped off. I'm not sure what this was originally used for. Maybe you guys can give me some insight. But what I can do is either put 2 little hose caps on this or literally keep it like it is. I mean, they just literally tucked it down away. That's why I just now noticed it. But again, not a big deal. If you guys can help me, some stuff I can help remove, but keep everything working functionally, you know. I do want to get the relocation for the coolant neck from TCS. Do that. That'll be a little interesting because I heard flushing these can be fun. Also do their coolant hose relocation where it kind of cleans things up. I really want to get rid of this. This stupid plastic catch can, this line here. I know some people run just a filter off the end, but I want to get rid of this plastic catch can. I want to know, can I just run a straight up filter? Do any of you guys know if I can run a straight filter off of this thing just to make it simple? I'm not sure if any of you guys are out there doing any of that stuff. I know I could go to a catch can, but I don't want to remove the valve covers and weld on a catch can. I'd like to keep this a little bit simpler. I keep telling myself that, keep it simple, but I keep feeling like I'm gonna go down the path of usual and keep modding, but I guess that's how the bug goes. So let me know, guys, can I, just run a filter here? And there seems to be another line at the bottom. Maybe you guys can give me some insight what that line's going to, because the PCV on this side, I can see exactly where it goes. So I'm assuming, I don't know. I'm assuming that's for something else. Maybe you guys can give me some insight. One other thing I wanted to bring up for you guys, I did get a complaint, I think the last video there, about my audio. I'm not sure what's still causing it. If you guys are still hearing audio issues, I guess this isn't going to be perfect. I mean, I do have a budget setup with a GoPro Hero 5 with a Rode mic on top of it here. But there's the same Rode mic that everyone else uses, Dirty Max jack. Actually, I was watching Cleus McFarlane. He just uses straight GoPro 5 like I have, no mic attached. I'm not sure how he gets his audio as clear as it is. When I do it straight from the GoPro, it is so muffled. It sounds like something has a paper bag over the GoPro itself. Why? I have no idea, but it drives me crazy, and that's why I run this external mic. And even still, when I run this external mic, if I'm standing directly behind it so I can see the screen, you guys can't hear anything because it's a directional mic. So when I'm standing behind it, I'm actually standing off to the side of it to try and get as much audio as possible to this speaker. Really, really, really sucks. Like, that's why I want to go to, say, like a Sony, I'm not sure what the heck they're called, or I guess it'd be, is it a G7X? I think Canon makes that. And it would help me with all that in better quality and low light, which I'm doing a lot of low light here in the garage. I'd like to be able to have something that's more movable, and I wouldn't have to have this big puffy, I'm not sure what you would call it. So I get this big puffy mic on top of the dead cat. I guess that's the proper name. But I know the reason why we all, and myself included, use the GoPro is because it's easy. I clicked one button there, it kicks on, there's a small screen, it's durable, I can throw this thing around, and I don't worry about it. The battery lasts a long time. You can get multiple batteries for it. It's easy to swap in and out. It shoots 4K if you would want it to. I mean, if they would fix some certain things about the GoPro, like here's a GoPro 6, the audio's it keeps getting worse. The last GoPro I actually had, the 3 Plus, I guess I'll call it. I think that's what, yeah, I had a 3 Plus. Because I was told the 4 was really bad, but it seems ever since he went 3 Plus, after the 3 Plus and they went to the 4, the 5, now the 6, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I'm not sure why that is, why the audio keeps getting worse internally on these things, but it just keeps getting worse, and I'm not sure what they need to do, but they need to fix it ASAP because they're literally useless. And besides taking video, you can't get any quality sound out of them, and it pisses me off. So now the filter's back on. One other thing I wanted to bring up, people, I guess, question me, do I actually use the tools in this? And I guess they're new. I guess if you guys have been here, I want to know down below who's been here since 1,000, 2,000 subs and like watch the whole swap and watch the actual build videos I used to do where I showed you guys more how-to stuff than anything before. I feel like a lot of you probably came because my mom and dad's driving videos or my wife riding in the car, the anti-like videos, etc., which there's nothing wrong with that. I like creating that content. But how many of you came here because you wanted to see like when I was building cars? I want to know down in the comments below who came for that stuff originally, because any of y'all know these things are filled. Almost every single one is filled with tools. I mean, you name it, electrical. I've got clamps galore, enough screwdrivers for an army. I've got every damn socket type, between, whether it be English, you got metric, all my impact stuff, hex keys. I even have these, which you need these triple squares if you're gonna remove any stock, oh shoot, head bolts on those. Here's some more English stuff, some custom pieces. I don't know, you name it, I have it in here. Even like random stuff for like Dremels, AN fittings and lines. I have a ton of stuff up in these drawers. Actually, I think these two are the most bare. This is like paint crap. But yes, guys, I do actually use the tools in here. I use more than 1 or 2 tools. I actually like to work on cars. It just comes down to a damn time thing. If I could do this full time, absolutely. I would probably do a video a day. Actually, I take that back. I know I would do a video a day, and I would probably bring on other people's cars. I'd probably take on actual work to give you guys more content. My one friend, Ron, he actually has a beautiful, actually I have him send me a picture and I'll flip it up here. He has a beautiful S15 with a 2JZ swap in it, and it is badass. Unfortunately, he bought it with, which I think he's finding out now, has a blown ball bearing turbo, and it has a bent rod. Wah, wah, wah. But that would have been a fun project car for me, but it comes down to time. Like as I'm recording this, inside I'm downloading stuff, then I go walk my dog, then I have to go over here to Walmart and grab stuff for my wife, and then before you know it, after I'm done editing tonight, I gotta go to bed because I gotta wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go get ready for my day job. So it's hard for me to barely work on my cars, let alone take on someone else's project. And I know people are gonna think like, man, he's really rambling on in this video, and I apologize, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of background of what's been going on and why it's been maybe a little bit slower than usual compared to it was last winter when I had more time. My new job now, I don't have the vacation time I used to. I used to just take days off just to make videos, just a little FYI for you guys. I never really told anyone that just because it was kind of embarrassing, I thought, just because I enjoyed this so much. I would take a day off work just to work on the car and make a video. If my other friends see this, they're probably gonna laugh at me, but I really used to like doing it that much. Let's go ahead and open up the old garage door and let the old kitten here purr real quick. This thing still has its random blip that's driving me crazy. See if I can get her turned on here in the first try. She's a little cold here. I'm like 99% sure this thing's not gonna start in the first try. Okay, I lied. It started on the first try. Pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and back it out. Well, I've got the car outside for a change. You guys can see my long shadow because sun's settling here. I wanted to get it out for one last drive. I also wanted to show you guys, I actually finished up the brakes here. That was one thing I went and did the other day when I had the wheels off. They're finished being painted now. I wanted to show you guys too. You can barely tell the difference here between the paint colors. If you can see it slightly, this looks like it's slightly brighter. This has more of a yellowish tint to it than this does. If you guys didn't know, the Supra actually had multiple iterations of colors. For the Alpine Silver, there was a total of 4. If you ever look up the paint code, there's actually different types of the Alpine Silver. Just a little FYI. Some have more of a yellow tint to it, which is apparently my natural or my original body color was. I went with a true Alpine Silver. I told him not to add any yellow because I wasn't sure and we couldn't tell, but now looking in the sunlight, you can tell this is slightly off as this has more of a yellowish tint to it. And for my buddy over at Stagger Media, stands for Stagger Media, when you turn your car on button, it's cold, it's gonna smoke a little bit. So don't worry, man, it's gonna smoke a little bit like that. Nothing crazy, but it is gonna smoke just a little bit. I know you just got your car done by Freed, man. So yeah, just wanna give you that insight if he actually watches this video. What I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna end this video without any of me talking and actually just, well, I'm gonna put the GoPro on the outside of the car and let you guys enjoy. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in as usual. I'm gonna go beat the piss out of the Supra now and let you guys listen to that sweet, sweet 2JZ noise. Thank you guys very much. Go check out the Facebook and Instagram, and I'll talk to you later. Peace!